Wow. Definitely am giving Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but I think we can move past that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elise. We do a little bit of elevated living, conscious consumption, and being mindful of our impact on the planet. Today, I am doing a full reset for 2026. I'm not necessarily someone who subscribes to the idea that just because we're turning the page on a calendar in the dead of winter, that we're meant to entirely rebrand and rebirth and become new people overnight and just be the most best improved versions of ourselves. I don't think that happens overnight anyway, but especially not in the dead of winter when we're meant to be hibernating and within and reflecting. I do, however, believe that this is a really good opportunity to reflect and reset. And yes, it is a fresh start and we get to turn the page and move forward with more intentionality. For me personally, the new year doesn't really start until the spring equinox when everything is coming back to life. But I do really lean into the idea of turning the page over, starting a year fresh, and just resetting your intentions and kind of reflecting on the year that has just passed. That's what we're going to be doing today. I want to kind of relook at 2025. If 2025 was not your year and you're excited for 2026, or you just need a fresh start, then hopefully you were in it together and this video either motivates you or gives you some ideas or lets you know like it's okay if 2025 wasn't your year and wasn't perfect. I feel like me personally, life was kind of happening to me. I don't think I was moving as intentionally as I would have liked to. But then again, maybe I'm just being a little bit too hard on myself. I think we're all a little bit too hard on ourselves. We're always our own worst critic. And no, it didn't need to be the year that I absolutely blew all my goals out the water. To be quite honest with you, I hardly set any goals for 2025. And that's kind of why I feel like maybe it just wasn't my best year. But we don't always need to top the last year and make it better and better and better. Some years are years of growth and learning, and some years are years of high achievement and success. And that's just life. It has its ups and its downs. So this is just a reminder to you that if 2025 wasn't your year, that's okay. It really wasn't mine either. But then again, it was. I had some really major wins and successes and personal life events and achievements that, maybe it was my year, maybe it wasn't. That's totally up to interpretation. Like I said, I hardly set goals for 2025, which just really isn't like me. But I think I was in the headspace of I just want to let go a little bit and kind of let life wash over me and like feel it and be in it versus try to be so rigid to control it and direct it. So I feel like I had a little bit of a balance of the two because I did have goals and I did meet them. So let's reflect. So like I mentioned, no, I did not set like an overarching goal or really anything for 2025, but I did have my monthly/weekly planner that I really leaned into in terms of setting short-term goals and things that I wanted to achieve within that month or carry things over time and time again. So I did flip through this a little bit because I love a weekly planner. I actually ordered a new one from Karst, which is actually recycled stone paper, which is super cool. I actually had one back in 2023, and I'm really excited to have a new one going into 2026. I'll put a picture on the screen here and then also link it down below. It's not in yet, so maybe I should have ordered it a bit earlier. So I put down on a post-it note after flipping through my agenda a little bit of like things that I had set as a goal. First and foremost was to move slower and have less stress. I think really where that came from for me was having a job that was super stressful because I still work in the fashion industry. I'm in production. And at the time, the company I was with was like startup vibes, but like family company run vibes. It wasn't like it was a private company. It wasn't public or anything. And the energy there was everything is urgent all the time. And my nervous system just was not doing great. So one of my goals was to just move slower and have less stress. And I do think I accomplished this by way of getting a new job with a pay raise and having more of a hybrid role. So I definitely accomplished that in a way that kind of was roundabout, but definitely better for my overall well-being in the long term. So I'm really grateful to be where I am now for sure. Next goal was to find a volunteer opportunity, and I did, but it got rained out, which was a little disheartening and discouraging, and I just didn't pick it back up to go and sign up for like a different day or a different event. So this is something I want to carry into 2026, is just to volunteer more in general, or just be more involved in the community in a different way. I have a few ideas, but we'll pocket that. Volunteering your time is just as, if not more important than donating, in my opinion. So if you can get out there, I definitely encourage you to, and I wish I would have done more of that in 2025. I also wanted to get better at content planning, and this started as a goal and then it transferred over to a to-do list every month. And I think by having it as like, okay, this is like the goal I want, and breaking it down into bite-sized kind of pieces, I definitely have gotten so much better at planning my content and not feeling like I have to film the day before I'm scheduled to upload, or 2 days before, and like turn it around and edit super quickly. So I feel like my content is definitely more well thought out and like almost scripted, but it's more of like an outline that I actually have points to refer back to, and that's like for every single video. And then I have my videos that I'm going to upload throughout the month. And it just feels really good and energizing to have a process and like a system in place to be able to create and not have to be bogged down by the more like administrative kind of side of things. I love scripting my videos and like writing them out and making sure I get my points across and I'm delivering valuable content for you. I think just planning it in general and having like a cadence and what to expect from me has helped me understand you guys more and what you want to see, but also like bring more of us into the fold, and that makes me super happy. My next goal was to get back on track with savings and / like track my budget better. This one was more of like an overarching goal towards the end of 2025, and I definitely feel like I did a really good job once I really sat down and like buckled down on a budget and really tracked my expenses super closely. I had like really ambitious savings and investing goals. I feel like I was able to really knock this one out of the park in a way that felt really rewarding, and I'm really happy I stuck to that. And it's definitely something I kind of want to incorporate a little bit more into my channel. I'm just trying to figure out how. I don't think monthly budget resets with me are really what you guys want to see, and maybe it's not content that super fills my cup, but I do want to do maybe like a quarterly check-in or something along those lines. So we'll get into that maybe a little bit more in 2026. Next, I wanted to begin house hunting again in August, and here we are in a new home. It kind of, not to say fell into our lap, but just again, the stars aligned, and we're so blessed and grateful to be where we are today, especially in the market and the economy the way it's been. It has definitely been an uphill battle, but I would not trade it for the world. And my last goal has more to do with YouTube, which was to hit 2,000 subscribers, which I did right at the very tail end of 2025. I think it was December 27th. I hit 2K and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. We ticked it off right at the end here. I felt just really proud of myself, and I feel like I finally 2025 has really been my year finding like my cadence and my groove in terms of content. So it's been really fun. And like, honestly, no shades at Instagram and TikTok, but I cannot be bothered with them. YouTube is like my bread and butter. It's what I love doing. I love having long chats with you guys and hopefully delivering meaningful and valuable content, and it's just my home. I love YouTube. So it's really crazy to have like over 2,000 of you guys here now. It makes my heart so warm, and I'm so lucky and grateful to have you along. Okay, so for 2026, I have this different kind of like goal planning template. I did the same thing for 2024, so they're side by side, but it's so funny because again, I just like skipped over 2025. It's broken down into want to do, want to have, want to be, and want to live. And I set 3 kind of intentions for each category. And then under each intention, you set a goal, like a really hardline goal, and then a habit to help you reach that goal with that intention. I think I'm just going to very quickly breeze through these because it's kind of a lot to take in, and maybe I'll just do like my main big hitters. So under want to do, I want to green / electrify the house, and my goal for that is to get solar panels. fingers crossed, I don't know, and like start composting. So my habit to do that is going to be research quotes / rebates and obviously put away food to compost. Now I know this is a little bit ambitious because solar panels are quite a big investment, but I do feel like I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back for anyone. I'm not going to be watering myself down or taking up less space or being less ambitious because it sounds crazy or very lofty. I think it's achievable and it's possible, and it's just more of a matter of putting my mind to it and partnering with my partner, my fiance, and like having a shared goal. And I do think it's something that isn't impossible. But speaking of my fiance, I want to get married and book our dinner celebration in Louisiana. I feel like my plans for the wedding have been constantly changing, and even this might change, but we're definitely getting married this year. It's just a matter of, are we doing a wedding or just a reception or just a dinner? Like, what's the deal gonna be? But that is definitely, that's not even a want to do, that's like a to-do list. And then lastly, I want to maybe possibly work with one of my favorite brands, whether that be ThredUp or The RealReal, love Ulta, any of my hair brands. I honestly would love to work with any of them, but definitely one that's like very in tune with sustainability, and we have a lot of aligned values. So if anyone watching on the ThredUp marketing team needs a content creator to make a video, just hit me up. I'm totally here. I am emotionally available. In my want to have, I have real estate, a maxed out Roth IRA, and a curated space / home. So real estate really to me could mean investment property or continuing to invest in REITs, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. And that's just like a way to have shares in investment property and get dividends from it. And also to max out my Roth IRA. So I could have lumped these two investing goals together, but the Roth IRA contribution limit has increased. So that's pretty lofty. If I can hit that, I was able to max out for 2025. I don't see why I can't do the same for 2026. And I have my automated contribution set up, which takes away so much of the mental gymnastics. I do think I'll be able to hit it this year if I just keep on track. And as far as a curated space and home, I feel like we did a lot of at once upfront shopping for the home. Again, I've said it once and I'll say it again. We came from practically having nothing because we were living with family. And I think, up front, like you do have to spend money on having a bed to sleep in, having cookware to cook with, and just day-to-day little things that do stack and add up quickly. But now that we've kind of hit a wall of like, okay, we have our bare bone essentials, anything else we bring in, I want it to feel like us, and I want it to have character and have quality and not fall apart after a few years. And again, we want it to be curated, and this is a shared goal between my fiance and I think it's something moving with intention with. It's going to just be so much more rewarding than if we were to purchase like a floor set of something from like Raymore and Flanigan. Like we're making it our own and we're curating it and designing it to our taste. In the want to be, I have the best partner / friend / family member that I can possibly be. And I want to share my habits to be the best friend, partner, sibling, family member that I can be, because I think they might be a little bit helpful. So the first one is to stop keeping score. And I heard this on a podcast recently, We Need to Talk, and it just hit me a little bit differently, because how often do you find yourself keeping score with your siblings or with your parents or with your partner or your friends of, oh, well, I invited you out, so it's time for you to invite me out, or, oh, I did the dishes this time, so it's time for you to do the dishes, or I got you this gift, so you should get me one. Keeping score like that is only keeping you frustrated, and it's only setting the other person up for a test that they're not prepared for, that they didn't know that they were taking. It's not fair to not communicate your needs and keep score at the same time. If you're communicating your needs and you're being open, upfront, and honest about what you need, maybe then take note if it's not being met. But I just think that that is a really helpful relationship tool that I am going to carry with me into 2026. I also have vulnerability and no judgment and making time to see people. The cost of community is convenience. One of my friends says this a lot, and I recognize that it's true. And being in Jersey and having friends in New York, like, it's going to be inconvenient for me to go see them, but it's going to be worth it. I also want to be full-time with the company that I'm currently working with. I'm a freelancer right now, which I've explained to you guys. I basically am paid hourly every week, and I do work like a full 40-hour week, but I would love to be moved from contract to employee. It just comes with way more benefits that I would definitely be taking advantage of. But then underneath that, I have a content creator with income. So they're a little bit competing in a sense because you do have to put a lot of time into content creation. But I do find that it's a hobby that if I can have like a side hustle income with, I think it's going to help me reach other goals like maxing out my Roth IRA and helping fund things around the house. It's something that I wouldn't necessarily want to lean on for my entire income, but I do think it would be a great help to fund some of my other goals. But again, I'm not going to shy away and say that, oh, I would never want to be a content creator full time. Like, that's not me. Like, honestly, if that opportunity ever arose, I would take it because it's something I really enjoy doing. I've been doing YouTube since I was literally 12 years old. I wouldn't mind doing it for full-time job if that's what it came down to. So while yes, those two are a little bit competing, I'm not shying away from either one of them. And lastly, for 2026 goals, I want to live a life of ease and minimal stress. We have a theme here. I don't think my life and career are super stressful, but I feel like I can put unnecessary pressure on myself, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and just kind of have these super high expectations, which is, it's great to be ambitious. It's great to want to achieve, but at the same time, there's a time and place of when to put pressure on yourself and when to kind of take it easy. And I just want to find a better balance of that. I also want to live mindfully and take space, like basically take a break from something if it's a little bit too consuming in the moment, whether that's like heavy emotions or high emotions, or even something of like shopping is something I should take space from and just be mindful moving forward. So that's kind of how I want to continue living into 2026. I feel like I really started nailing it in 2025, and I just want to make sure I stay on top of that. And lastly, I want to be mentally organized and have better memory. I literally wrote that. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I just kind of am forgetful, or if I don't write it down immediately, it slips my mind. And it's not a good feeling to have that you're forgetful or mindless or like just don't care. Like, I do care. I do want to show up and be there and be my best and be prepared in every situation, whether it's personal or professional. And by being mentally disorganized and kind of being like a hot mess and just not prepared or not remembering things, it's not a good look. It doesn't make me feel my best. So I definitely want to live a bit more organized and just, again, have better memory. How am I going to do that, you ask? I am going to only say yes to what I can commit to. I'm going to start doing memory exercises. Maybe I can find an app and just have better planning and scheduling skills. That's why I got my new agenda. Again, I should have ordered it earlier. This is an example. I do think that's a big one. I should like highlight and star and just like find new mental hacks. It's not even like I want mental hacks. I genuinely just want to improve that area of self. And I do attribute it to living with ADHD, and like my entire family has it. It's not an excuse. It's not something I feel like debilitates me, but it is something I notice can creep up on me and make me just feel a little less than, a little unprepared, or like, oh, why can't I remember so many details like that? Or how are they so mentally sharp and on top of things? Why can't I be like that? Well, I can be. I just need better tools and I need to cope differently. So I am in therapy for that, which has like been really great for my time management. Shout out to my therapist. It's been really helpful, and also to have someone tell you like, well, that's just how your brain works. So while I'm not making excuses for myself, I am also not setting myself up for failure by being like, I'm going to be on time to every single thing. I'm never going to forget an event. I'm going to remember everything everyone tells me. Like, it's a little bit too much. So we're going to, level set my expectations. Now for the fun part, we're going to do the vision board. Very excited for this. I didn't make one last year. Again, guys, I was like really off my game. Vision board. I'm just going to pull up a template on Canva, and then what I do, and probably like what everybody else does, is goes to Pinterest for those aesthetic photos and then kind of plop those into the template. That way I'm not screwing around with having to like fully form a template and then on top of that pick pictures. I'm just picking the pictures, plopping them in. Okay, some of these are kind of intense though. Also, I definitely want to do a vertical one for my phone lock screen. So we're gonna be doing 2, but we're gonna be using the same photos. So I really like this Vision one, super clean. And then of course, Pinterest. All right, I am gonna start with organization aesthetic. Oh, it's all about closets. Okay, maybe I could type in like mental organization. Oh, if you're feeling sad or stressed, here's some resources that may help improve your mood. That's cute. Okay, I'm really loving a lot of these. Something clear, clean, clutter-free that has my name on it. And I feel like I'm only gonna do 1 for each. I don't need to like really overdo it with how many photos I have. Let's do friends. Or is it gonna pop up friends like this show? Okay, cool. Oh, this is cute. A little picnic moment. Okay, but I wanna avoid having like other people's faces in it and stuff. I just feel like that kind of takes away from the ability to like manifest it subconsciously for yourself. I'm also going to avoid anything with like drinks in it. Honestly, I don't really drink, so a little coffee date though, that's super cute. All right, I'm actually gonna go to my home board. I have so many boards. My home inspo board and like probably save a few pens from there. I love this moody dining room one. Definitely saving that. You think anything is gonna come up for Roth IRA aesthetic? Oh my God, wait, it kind of does. Okay, we're gonna save that. I love anything with words too, so I'm trying to be very specific. Like our home is a 1920s home, so I'm looking for solar panels on a 1920s home. Oh, this one's cute. Yes, coffee in the morning outside somewhere, I love that. This is cute. Okay, now I'm just wedding dress shopping. I definitely have like a few ideas in mind, but boat neck, need. Silk, also need. I'm like on the fence about like a little neck scarf thing in place of a veil. I don't know. We have a lot of decisions to make. I also love the idea of like a backless situation. I thought about something with sleeves. I'm still on the fence about that though too. You know what? We'll go with this one. I've definitely saved enough, so let's go ahead and upload them. Okay, I lied, I need more. Let's do some more slow living and like organization stuff, because that's the goal. I think my word for the year is gonna be ease. I can't get enough of it. I just need it. Ease. And then I also think thoughtful should be another one, whether it's like intentions thought out or being thoughtful with like my relationships and people, thoughtful with my career. I think that's another really big one to incorporate and remind myself of. That is my 2026 vision board. I'm gonna go ahead and fit this out for my phone lock screen as well, but I'm gonna do that off camera. I hope your 2026 is off to an amazing start, or whether you need to recuperate a little bit more before really hitting the ground running. I wish you nothing but health, happiness, love, and light in this new year. 2026 is feeling really good. Last year was the year of the snake. This year is the year of the horse, a year of a lot more action and going for things and trusting the process and trusting yourself in that process. So I have a really good feeling about this year. Lots is coming, a lot of change, things to be excited about and look forward to. If you were here for 2025, I really appreciate you, and I'm so happy to have you along for 2026. If you're thinking about subscribing, go ahead, do it down below. I have a lot of new videos coming out for you guys, and I'm really excited about the content I'm creating this year. All right, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. It means the world to me. I hope you consider subscribing down below, and definitely give this video a like if you're excited for 2026, excited for the new year, and you are planning and resetting. The algorithm is going to recommend a video at the end of this one just for you, so go ahead, stick around and see what it is. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, don't forget to be kind to yourself, others, and the planet. Bye.